All right, thanks so much, Kevin. From wet weather to dry weather, we head to the West Coast now. As you know, wildfires are raging in 11 West Coast states. Especially hard hit is California, Washington, and Oregon. Dozens of lives have been lost and millions of acres have been burned to the ground. We want to get you caught up on the very latest right now. Joining me is Andrew Phelps, the director for the State of Oregon Office of Emergency Management. Thank you so much for joining us here on BNC Prime.
Thanks for having me.
Can you start by telling us exactly where you are right now and what the conditions are?
Sure. We're running operations here out of the state's Emergency Coordination Center in Salem, Oregon. It's the state's capital, and it's where really the seat of government is for all state operations. Right now, we are to the west of one of the more serious fires, the Beachy Creek fire that has been burning since Labor Day. And we had a series of fires start from north to south in Oregon due to a really phenomenal wind-driven event. We've had dozens of fires on the landscape, and the more severe of them have been in Jackson County, which is near the California border, a fire in Lane County, east of Eugene, where the University of Oregon is. That's the Holiday Farm fire. The fire that I mentioned here east of Salem, drawing a blank on that one right now, the Beachy Creek fire, and then up near the Portland metro area, the Riverside fire, which forced the evacuations of thousands and thousands of folks from the Portland metro area.
Simply heartbreaking. Of course, we know Oregon is known, among other things, for its beautiful forest land. Will they ever be able to replace what's being lost now?
You know, wildfires are part of the natural landscape, and it just is so unfortunate when we have these fires move so quickly into the built environment. We're a resilient state, and right now the focus continues to be on life safety for Oregonians who've been immediately impacted by these fires. We still have a number of folks relying on the Red Cross and the Oregon Department of Human Services for sheltering because their homes have either been destroyed or they've been displaced. But then we'll be looking at those long-term recovery efforts, making sure every Oregonian who was impacted have the resources they need to get back on their feet and hopefully rebuild.
Hopefully they will be able to rebuild. What we haven't heard a lot about is the loss of wildlife and its habitat. What can you tell us about what kind of animals are at risk and how are they being helped?
Yeah, so Oregon is such a beautiful, beautiful state. If you've never been, I encourage you to come visit. We've got tremendous wildlife, world-class fishing, elk herds that you can just view from the sides of our highways. And all of these animals, the wildlife here in Oregon, gets impacted by this, whether it's the streams and the watersheds that are disrupted by the burning or the actual physical woodland habitat for elk, deer, foxes, coyotes, bears, wolves. Just incredible, and the devastation impacts all of those animals, and it's going to take a long time for the ecosystem to recover.
Well, there's also a lot of debate about what exactly caused these fires. What exactly is the state's position on climate change?
Each of these fires, in terms of the actual incendiary cause, what caused the specific fires, will be investigated. We're really in emergency management and the consequence management business. What I can say is every year we seem to have more fires, larger fires, fires that burn more intensely, and in places that we've never experienced fire before. And it's not just fires. It's floods, it's winter storms. In the last 16 months, Oregon has had 5 major disaster declarations due to fires, floods, or winter storms. That's not normal. That's clearly the result of a changing environment.
Difficult. Well, we also know how hot it's been out there. Of course, this heat causing these fires, part of it. What does the upcoming forecast look like? Does it look like you guys are going to see anything any better in terms of weather conditions?
So weather has improved since the fires began on Labor Day. Winds have calmed, temperatures have decreased, it's gotten cooler, and we've seen an increase in humidity. That all helps the firefighting effort, but it doesn't help get the smoke out of the air. So we continue to have statewide smoke impacts really everywhere west of the Cascades all the way to the coast. And that smoke it prohibits us from really being able to get aircraft up in the air and fight these fires via the aircraft, like helicopters and airplanes. So we're hoping that we get a little bit of a westerly breeze coming off the coast that helps push some of the smoke out. That's not necessarily great for fire behavior, but it will allow us to get more aircraft up in the air. And quite frankly, talking to our forestry folks, we're going to need a season-ending rain event, which probably won't come for weeks, to really get these fires fully knocked down.
Well, our thoughts are with you. Andrew Phelps, Director for the state's Response State of Oregon Office of Emergency Management. Thank you so much for your time, and please stay safe.
Thanks for helping us tell our story.